everyone. I'm John Newstreet, President and CEO of the Kissimmee Osceola County Chamber of Commerce. And today we bring you another conversation with a community leader. And I'm most excited about this one because as an alumnus of UCF, he is new to town and bringing us into the future. And I'm excited to learn more about him, to share that with you, and to learn more about where our university will take us in the decades to come. Again, as champions for business and community here at the Kissimmee Osceola County Chamber of Commerce, we're getting through this pandemic together, and we are here for you. You are not alone. So if there's ever anything we can do, please let us know. The full bio of our presenter today will be in the thread below us, but a quick introduction on who he is. Dr. Alexander Cartwright is the 6th UCF president. He took office on April 3rd of this year, so he's less than a year in. And he comes to us from Missouri, but has a tremendous background, including some stints in the higher echelons of the university system in New York. And so I'd like to welcome Dr. Cartwright to the conversation. Welcome, Dr. Cartwright.
It's great to be here, John. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. So we've got just 15 minutes, and you've got a lot more you could share about how you got here and who you are and what you plan to do. So getting right to it. Maybe tell us a little bit about yourself and things that we should know as we interact with you in the university in the years to come.
Well, the first thing and the most important thing is just to let everybody know how much my wife, Melinda, and I love actually being here in Central Florida and actually being at UCF. It's just it's such a great fit for us and has so many of the aspects and values that we share. And we want to be a part of this community and continue to do great things here at UCF. I was born and raised in the Bahamas, not too far from here. My family was there for a long time, hundreds of years. And then I was able to move over to the U.S. when I was 17, and I hadn't graduated high school. And the schools and the public schools in the Bahamas weren't that great at the time. It was a country that had become independent and really didn't have the great education. So when I came over here, I had to figure out how to get a GED on Iowa, and then I had to go to a community college and started pursuing an accounting degree in college. And during that time, I was still working at a factory where I started working there just to be able to earn enough money to go to school. And that experience, the owner of that company said to me after I was already going to community college and I had switched to the University of Iowa, is like, you're really good with your hands, you're doing very well in school, why are you not considering engineering? And I didn't know what engineering was, I didn't know what they did. And certainly that conversation, though, triggered me to think about engineering as a potential major. And ultimately, I did switch to engineering, got my engineering degree, and then went on to pursue a PhD in engineering and doing optics, actually. So subsequent to getting that degree, I was fortunate enough to get a faculty position at the University of Buffalo in Buffalo, New York. And we spent over about 20 years there, and our family grew up there, our 2 children. And really just had a wonderful experience. I loved that university and ultimately moved all the way up in administration there to eventually being a vice president for research and economic development. And then moving to the system level, as you mentioned, where I was serving as the provost for the entire SUNY system, about 450,000 students and 64 campuses, so big system. And then I went to Missouri and as chancellor there. And now I'm so blessed to be a part of UCF and being president here.
That's amazing. It sounds with what you've shared that you're the perfect person at the right time for this job. So we're glad to have you. We're excited to work with you. Can you talk a little bit about what you see UCF, where UCF is now, some of the exciting things that are happening now, and then perhaps your vision for the future?
When I was first thinking about UCF to come here, I didn't have a lot of time. We were pretty busy at the time, and was able to. I only knew a little bit about the institution, and eventually, as I started to learn more about it, I realized how special of a place this was, right? The growth that this place has seen, the remarkable faculty, the amazing staff, incredible students that we have. And the more that I learned, the more that I realized that this is a good place for me to be. And I will tell you that, maybe a little embarrassed to say this, but the longer I'm here, the more I learn and the more I realize all the things I didn't know about it that were even more remarkable. And every day, I'm thankful that I'm actually part of this institution. This is an institution that is, when you look at it from the outside, certainly people see the growth. They see all the things that have happened at this institution, but what many don't see is the underlying data that fits with that, right? The fact that this is a fabulous research university that's now at over $200 million a year in research expenditures, a growth of 40% since 2016. The fact that we have students who come here who are just top students that any institution would be proud to have. That's what we're having here. And what we see are outcomes that are consistent with that. Our student success numbers, our graduation rates, our retention rates, this past year being over 92% graduation rates that are putting us among the top in the country. And when we look at those outcomes, clearly we're an institution that easily could be ranked in the top 50 public research universities in this country. We're not quite there yet, but it has nothing to do with our capability and our outcomes. It has more to do with some of those things have to do with our reputation. People just don't know about us, and we need to get that message out there. We need to talk about all the things that are happening. And I think then once they start to understand who and what UCF is, all the rankings and everything will follow. And so what I've been talking a lot about is we should aim to be, the best metropolitan research university in this country. I really do believe we have the potential. Being in this region, with all that's happening within Central Florida, all of the opportunities to connect with industry, all of the ways that we can serve the community, our connection to economic development within the region, the ways that we could think about doing things differently and not being defined by what other universities are, but by who we are. And be bold and recognize that we're an institution that will define what higher education will be. We serve an incredibly diverse student body. We look like the future of America, and we will be the future of America. So I really do believe that this institution, with all that it's done in a very short period of time, has even more potential than what it's realized. And that's hard to believe, considering all that has happened here at UCF. But I look at it as someone who's come in from the outside, and all I can see is so much potential for us to be doing just remarkable things for society, for this region, and certainly for the world. And so those goals are all focused around how we continue to focus, how we drive our excellence, how we are academically stronger, how we're in terms of just our administrative activities stronger, and how we commit further to supporting each other throughout this pandemic, but well beyond that.
Yes, sir. So I am a very proud alumnus of the class of 2001, and of course that predates your tenure, or I might not have been able to graduate as we raised the bar. But we have since 2001 built a lot, and we do need to brag. And we, as the chamber, certainly want to help brag. We're proud of you and supportive of you. And while we center a lot on academics, the thing that people notice most and where the UCF's gotten the biggest name is in athletics and our football program. Can you talk just briefly about how we're doing and the outlook there?
We're lucky. We have an incredibly strong athletics department. Our student athletes are amazing. They've done a great job during the summer. They continue to do a great job. And if you look at our opportunities in athletics, I think we can even, again, make it to that next level. We're already there, but that connection to the community and what you see through athletics is something that really is that front porch for this university, right? So many people see us and see what's happening, and the way that our athletics teams and our leadership, the way that they're positioning us is something we can all be proud of. So we're all happy to be Knights, and certainly with football, we're certainly excited about being a Knight on the Saturdays that we're cheering for them. So I think the future is very bright. I'm very proud of our athletic director and all that he's done, our coaches, the quality of coaches that we have, and the fact that this is an athletics department that understands the role of athletics in a university and how it's about helping our student athletes, the scholarships that they get, making sure that they're able to achieve their dreams at UCF. But in addition, how it is part of the overall university and how it actually also represents us and allows us to be much more visible on the national stage. So we look forward to continuing to be that university that everybody sees and recognizes UCF and recognizes who the Knights are.
So I appreciate that. I'm naive, but it seems that football's not a popular sport in American parlance. Football's not a popular sport in the Bahamas. So I'm glad we've got your support to get back to being national champions, which I'm sure is well within grasp. So when you look at football and you talk about academic programs, we're all living through, surviving, and coming out of this pandemic that's affected our lives. And I think what seems to be the going term wherever I look is pivot. And so you're having to pivot an entire institution. You entered right at the start of this pandemic, so that's probably unfair to you, if you will. But obviously your students too may be pivoting on new opportunities that they see come from all the world that's changed around us. So can you just talk about the pandemic a little bit, maybe how that's changed your outlook or some of the creative energies we've seen come of the pandemic?
Sure, John. One of the things that when we started thinking about what we were going to do, we approached this from a viewpoint of compassion, about caring about people and what we should be doing as an institution. And I think that has stayed the one real calling point that we continue to focus on is compassion for each other. Coming back, bringing people back to campus, it was about what our students needed and the desire that so many of them had to be part of an experience that is a college experience where they are on campus. And we've of course had to pivot. We've had to change and say that masks are required, physical distancing, hand washing, all of the things that we know help to keep our community healthy, and the fact that we need to do this to protect each other. We depopulated some of our buildings. We tested all the students when they came into our residence halls. Our classrooms look different, right? When you walk into them, there's a lot less people in each classroom. When you think about this campus as a whole, the number of students that are around are less during any particular time. But it was all done in a way that we're thinking about, what is the best for our community. Our students have been really just outstanding in really wanting to follow all of those rules and helping us to continue to be able to provide the in-person opportunities that we are doing. And I feel good about what they think about this institution. If you look nationally, many institutions have seen decreases in their enrollment into the fall. We've seen the opposite. We've seen an increase in our enrollment. And I think that speaks volumes to what people think about this institution and their commitment to this institution. We're also lucky, John, in that, I don't know if you know this, but we're always ranked as one of the top 20 most innovative universities in this country. Mm-hmm. We're always ranked among online universities. And we have had that tradition for many years now, over 20 years. We've been a leader in online education. Mm-hmm. So when we changed and had to offer more classes virtually, we did that from a position of strength, from a position where we knew how to do it. We understand digital learning. We know how to provide opportunity for our students and really to provide a quality education. And I think people have seen that, and that's why they chose to come here too, because even if they are taking some of our much larger classes that are digital this fall, they're still getting a quality education that they deserve. And I feel so fortunate to be part of an institution that understands that this is about how we serve our students, how we make sure that we're also a member of this community, and that we continue to do what we think is best for the entire community in terms of the education, but also in terms of keeping everybody healthy.
I appreciate it. I'm a proud alumnus, as I said, and so thank you. You're the leader for the Times, and it's such a pleasure to get to know you and to work with you going forward. As we close, any parting comments you want to share with the audience?
I just want to thank everybody for all that they've done for UCF and recognize too that, we're a university that is always thinking about how are we a bigger part of the community? How do we work with the local region? What can we do to make this place a better place? Because the more that we can do to make it better for everybody in this region, the better it is for us. And so thank you for continuing to support the Knights, and go Knights and charge on.
Dr. Alexander Cartwright, President of the University of Central Florida, thank you for being with us today. Go Knights, charge on.
Thank you.